Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Can't believe this is here already. I think last time I spoke in something like this, we were at 5G and it was just starting. So incredible couple months, very busy. Everything was just flying past, and then it's like August already, September already. Everything's been so fast except for the last couple days. I think it's creeping along because we're so excited to get to practice, to be back on the basketball court with this new group. Like everyone said already before, how great a couple months it was this summer, and now we got to put it to practice. And very excited with the commitment of this group. Like other people have said, Matt and BG have talked about from top down. Our commitment to be in the gym, to be different, to work together, that's our competitive advantage. So it's extremely exciting what we've done and also where we're going, and it starts tomorrow. So open with questions.
Okay, Greg. There you are, Greg.
Coach, all the way in the back here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, best of luck on your first season. I cannot imagine how excited you must be to really get to work. I know a lot of guys are going to ask you about Devin and all of that, but I want to know about Dillon Brooks. What have you seen from him, and what's it mean to have a dude like that next to you instead of across from you?
I think we've all seen Dillon as an opponent. I actually was in LA, a couple years ago in the playoffs against him, and the edge and competitive spirit that he plays with is unmatched. And just knowing him from afar, we knew that competitive spirit would lift our group. Things we didn't know is his work ethic backs it up. He's not all smoke. I told it right to his face a couple weeks ago. He's an incredible worker, one of the hardest workers I've seen. Talk about two-a-days. He was in there again last night. He lifts our group on the floor when he's there, in the building when he's there. Every night to go to war with someone like that is going to help not only Book, but also our young guys and show them the way that this is the way that we have to be. Again, and a competitive advantage of ours is outwork, outplay, how hard we can play. He's going to be the leader of that every night, and it's good to have him on our team.
Okay, we have Brendan. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan. Brendan Clean, Phoenix New Times. BG touched on Mark's situation a little bit. I'm curious about Colin and what you see the process being like with him this year. People are wondering about, starting versus bench between those two and just kind of developing such a young guy with such potential.
We'll start with Colin. We were extremely excited about him as a player. Again, I'll talk about the person and the spirit. You guys are going to see it. You're going to see it at practice. You're going to see today when you talk to him. He's an incredible way about him because of his experiences. And then at the same time, we have to understand he's 19 years old. He's only spent 1 year in college basketball. I think we saw it a little bit in Summer League. He's going to have incredible plays that only he can make, and then he's going to have some spots where he has a long way to go. Part of that is off the court in the weight room, and he's done a great job in the last couple of months adding strength to a spot now where he's getting there. But we do have to have some grace with Colin, and for that reason, we're happy with our center depth, led by Mark. Nick and Oso all have had really good summers. We're in a good spot with our center depth. Extremely excited to see how it all plays out in camp and then into the regular season.
Colin?
Jordan, Colin Olson, Arizona Sports. Good to see you. In the summer, BG was mentioning how you were in there at every hour, seemingly, but when did you realize the players were starting to or had already kind of adopted the culture identity you were going for, and what was it like for you as a coach to see before training camp that the work and what you guys want to see is already being implemented?
I think, BG will often give us praise for getting those guys in there, but the reality is that's who they are, and this is the way the group is built. You draft players that want to work. You have guys on your roster that want to work. They'll come back. And then it's our job as coaches to create the environment, which we've been very intentional with, was to show them that when they show up in that building, we have their best interest in mind, not only in the weight room, but also on the court to make them better players and better people. So, again, we're in a good spot to start this thing off. No, we have a lot of steps along the way to get going, but it's been a great summer led by the players.
John? Hey, John.
Back here, Coach. John Voida, Bright Side of the Sun. Good to see you.
Good to
Excited
see
for
you.
this season. You're being handed a roster with so much rookies. when it comes to just youth, the youth movement is alive in Phoenix. Has there been a strategic approach that you have that you're going to execute during this season relative to bringing them into their development? Because for the short-term success of this team, we want to be competitive, but for the long-term success, you need to develop them properly. So do you have that kind of approach? And if so, what does that look like?
No, it's my belief that anyone can develop. I think rookie, second year, fourth year, 10th year player, we all can develop, including us as staff, coaches, performance staff. This is the development world. We all want to be lifelong learners. It's the same on the basketball court. So we're going to have plans in place for not only the rookies, but the veteran players as well. It's going to be an intentional way to develop them for not only this current season, but in seasons to come. And it starts with the prep. And we've done a great job, led by the front office in Summer League. We started it already. We will have very deliberate goals of what we want these guys to achieve and help them along the way to get there. So it doesn't matter, rookie, second-year player, 10th-year player, 12th-year player. We're all about development because that's what we believe in, and that's what's going on around the NBA. We see it every day.
Shane?
Coach, Shane Yellman, Forbes, nice to see you. Just wondering what you kind of envision for Colin on this roster and his role. It seems like his presence often goes under the radar with this team.
I think Colin's had an incredible summer. Again, not knowing him very well, we actually played here in March, and he had big shots in the fourth quarter. I've been around guys like that it just finally clicks. Like, it takes them a little bit to know that they're an NBA player, that they belong in the league. It has clicked for Colin. I think it's clicked before this summer, but you can really feel it as we start to play August, September, and then into this training camp. You guys will see it as well. He's just a hard-working, no-nonsense, tough, gritty, skilled. I think that's the part that everyone overlooks. Like, he's a skilled basketball player. The one elite skill that he has offensively is he can shoot off the dribble, and that's a major, major thing in the NBA right now. As a handler, he can shoot it. He's tough. You're not going to target him on the defensive end. He's had a great summer, and I'm extremely excited to see where it goes.
Cam?
Check. There we go. Jordan, good morning. Cameron Cox, 12 News.
Morning.
Obviously, a lot of firsts are going to happen for you coming up. I just wondered if you've thought about some of those things and what's it been like to, kind of plan for your first training camp and just kind of do some of those things personally as you've kind of waited your whole life for somewhat of this moment.
Yeah, Cam, I'm thinking about tomorrow, to be honest with you. Like, to think about anything other than that, I don't think it's fair to this group. That's not kind of how I'm wired. We have a job to do, and that job is to get these guys ready to go. And we have this month of practice. The China trip throws a little wrench into it, just the distance and how long that trip is. But it's a challenge that we're willing to do, and we're going to maximize every second that we have, not only with our guys on the court, on that long plane trip to China and back. We're going to be very, very strategic in how we do things. That's what I'm focused on. All the other stuff, it'll take care of itself if we do our own jobs.
Okay. Espo?
Jordan, Greg Esposito with PHNX. A lot of talk about who's going to be point guard on this roster, but I was interested in how you develop an offensive system that takes and elevates the unique skill sets of Jalen and Devin.
Great question. Figured this would come up. I just think the game has changed. It's changed overall. We all see it. What the traditional point guard looked like 5 years ago, even 10 years ago, is drastically different than what it is today. I think when you scouting or you turn on the TV and you watch every night, the size of the playmaker or the initiator of the offense is different every night. Some guys are 7 feet tall initiating the offense, and some are your, smaller, 6'4", 6'7". The sizes are all over the place. Part of the offense is we want to play fast. In order to play fast, you need to have multiple ball handlers. The other part of the offense is we're going to play fast and play in concepts, so we have to have solutions on whatever coverage is being played against us. And some nights on how they're going to play Jalen and Book, it may entail someone else creating that first domino, that first advantage. So the game has shifted. I think we're extremely lucky to have some depth in that guard position. I'm interested to see how it does play out in the preseason, but it's also our job as coaches to fit the play style and what we do offensively around the guys that we have. And for that, we're lucky. We're very lucky that we do have multiple ball handlers. It's going to be put some of those guys in a position that they haven't been in, and that part is exciting. And we're all going to try to find solutions that best fits us to win that night.
Okay. Dwayne, last question.
Yes, Coach, once again, congrats and wish you the best of luck this year. I find it interesting just hearing you talk and what you guys have been saying. Devin's role in terms of pushing the players to follow, okay, this is what we are, this is what we're going to be. How big is that for you as a coach, with him taking on that duty, that responsibility?
Yeah, I think Matt said it, how lucky he is. How lucky am I? The first-year head coach to have a superstar, a guy that's proven in the league, the guy that's done it at every single level, NBA, Olympics, that's a blessing. And I think whatever's happened in the past has happened in the past. This is his team. And we're lucky, again, that he not only plays for the Phoenix Suns, he wants to live here. I've been around the different teams. To have your superstar in the state, in the city, in the gym is a major luxury for us. We talk about how the gym is felt and guys being in there to work. It starts at the top. And without his commitment, with us in Phoenix, with the Phoenix Suns, extremely, extremely grateful to him and looking forward to continue to build our relationship and see how this, preseason into the regular season goes. And he's going to be a great partner for us as we go forward.